Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Vanguard Tactics. I'm Stephen Box, and if you're interested in Warhammer 40k, you are in the right place. So for every single day we are in this lockdown and isolation, I am live here on YouTube answering your 40k related questions, whether it's about competitive 40k, which is kind of this channel's specialism, whether it's about sportsmanship, fair play, whether it's about hobby side, and whatever it might be, really, So yeah, if you do have a question, how this works is for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be live, although I tend to go on for much longer than 30 minutes. And if you have any questions at all you need to do is pop it in the chat and I'll get and answer your questions for you. We've had, it's currently day 14. My beard is getting longer. My hair is also growing, hence the hat. And also the thumbnails have got better. You'll see now I've kind of refreshed all of the thumbnails, okay? So it's looking really sweet now. I'm really happy with those. Yeah, but ultimately had a really good day today, and you'll be really pleased to know. You ready? This has just arrived. This is the Logitech Master MX2. I was going to get the MX3, but actually this looked a bit cooler. But look at that. Sweet. You've never seen a mouse like it. Now, let me tell you why this is so special, because as you know, it takes me about 30, well, you might not know this, but I'm going to tell you, it takes me about 30 hours to edit a battle report. So now I've programmed each of these buttons to either cut or play or delete or whatever might be. So that means editing might now take me 29 hours instead of 30 to get a battle report done. All thanks to, and also I'm not going to get a hand cramp anymore from using that stupid, like, whatever it is. So now this is ergonomically friendly. And this video is not sponsored by Logitech as much as it sounds like it, but it's just a great product. So look at that. Look how nicely it fits in my hand. You see, it's perfect. There's even a thumb button. Anyway, I've had a great day. So happy that this arrived. Anyway, so we'll dive into your chat. And also I thought, do you know what? Let's dive into here today. Yeah. Let's have a little look through the old Faith in Fury. Because there's probably some really cool stuff in there that we've missed. So today, the other thing I had to do was write a Grey Knights list for list of the week, which goes into our mentorship group, where basically I write down what this Grey Knight list is, what it does, what to watch out for. And that is now a daily lesson every single Monday in our mentorship group. And what I'm going to do is a special tomorrow. I'm going to email that lesson out. So you guys, if you're on the email list, will get a little chance to look at what the list looks like and also how that daily lesson works. And obviously there are 7 daily lessons along with the video modules that are on top of that as well, which is the original core mentorship. This is something that we've added on and which is now going to stay. So yeah, if you're on the email list, then you're going to get that lesson tomorrow, and it will give you some really good critical ways to think about what you're doing. And if you want to partake in that every week, then obviously the mentorship is the place for that. Anyway, so let's have a little look in the chat. Who have we got? Hi, Stephen. Who would win in a game against each other, your Ultramarines or your sisters? My Ultramarines. Yeah, my Ultramarines. Just without a doubt. Just... they've got all the tools for it. Oh, my, just be like a leaf blower, you know? Be like, just leaves scattered away when those aggressors just go. And list of the week next week is actually the Ultramarines list that we've been working on. Jared has put together a great new alteration on my original list, and I think this is a nice new meta-breaking Ultramarines list, which will be next Monday. Lucas said, it's okay, Steve, I hadn't had a haircut in over 5 weeks, and I'm used to about 3 weeks as well. Yeah, normally every 21 days. I saw on my calendar haircut tomorrow, and I was like, and now, ironically, I used to hate getting my haircut, but now I love it. Yeah, just get that fresh trim, you know. There's nothing better than feeling fresh. Seb has said, hope you're well. What are your thoughts on Iron Warriors? Well, Seb, we're going to be talking about that later. That's why I've got the Faith and Fury book out. Yes. Stevie's spicy thumbnails. Yep, that's me. Coach James, what are your thoughts on 20 rubric 1,000 suns for the 3++ -1 to hit an ability to pick them up and redeploy them anywhere on the board each turn? I mean, that's like asking me, what's my thoughts on Ferrero Rocher? To a really good platform, and then you can start to combine that with deep striking terminators and stuff, and you've just got threat saturation. We get some wraps and traps off, pen your enemy in their deployment zone. It's nice. Some dirty combos right there. Yeah, Coach James, I like what your head's at. Yeah. So Jacob said, how many buttons are on it? So let's have a little look. How many buttons are on it? We've got the fun button, which is not, it doesn't look like a button, but this is actually, you press that. I'm not going to do it, but that's a button. 2 there, so it's 1, 2, 3. 4, scroller wheel. 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's also a button, and the roller, so 9 different functions. And then what you can do, if that's not enough, you can hold down certain buttons and then push this in certain directions, and that will do something else. So essentially, you could push that, go 4 different ways. So for example, if I press this button here, this actually brings up my community group on Facebook. If I bring up this one, if I press this one, it brings up my project manager. If I press up this one, that's my music. But then when I'm video editing, because I've got it installed for the app, so when I'm in the app, of using, what do I use? Final Cut. The buttons change. Oh, it's magic. Absolute magic. The guys at Logitech have done an absolute number, I tell you. Right, okay. So how do you train cats to play Warhammer? Tried it with dog. She just turns into that guy. Pro Marley. Are you okay? Yeah. Maybe I'm, you trying to play Warhammer with your cats and dogs is about as crazy as me and my crazy mouse. So yeah, I think it's time we need to get out, but you've got to stay inside. Okay. Don't be one of those people that goes out, tries to break the rules, stay inside. Yeah. Anyway, Coach James has said, thinking of combining them all with a blob of Alpha Legion Possessed or Alpha Legion Berserkers. Yeah, do it. Sounds good. Yeah, put those Berserkers in nice and cheap. Double move them. Yeah, that'd be a really good counterpunch unit then. I like it. And then they can't be shot at either. Get the old conceal on them. I found some great Word Eater and Emperor's Children combos. Nice. Yeah, I think, well, that's what we're going to be going through today. I'm just going to read through that book and see if there's anything that jumps out to me that, I really like. How you doing, Henrik? Stephen H. Stevie, question. Does charging overall the ability of the Armor of Rust to make a unit fight last? Does charging provide an ability to fight first that counters Armor of Rust? I don't believe it does. So my phone is over there on charge. So what you're going to have to do, Stevie H, is write down the wording of the relic. Okay, so find what it says and I will, in the chat, and I'll do it. Mr. Hatch, I've never been so excited for Monday as Ultramarines Monday. Oh, can we just rename Mondays to Ultramarine Mondays? Yeah. But I really think Ultramarines are the daddy when it comes to Marines now. They've just got so many tools. Yeah, they've got everything. Power drills, screwdrivers, the lot. Sam said, hey, mate, hope you're doing well. And what do you think about stacking abilities? Should this change in next edition? No, absolutely not. I love them. There's nothing better than a good stack, It takes me back to my bodybuilding days when I used to have my supplement stack. I used to have not that any of this used to work, but I used to have my glutamine, my BCAAs, my dextrose, my arginine, amino acids. I used to have my creatine, my beta-alanine, my citrine malate, and you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to get crazy gains. Caffeine, that does work. Creatine does work as well, but the rest, not so much. But anyway, yeah, there's nothing better than a good stack, because stacking is, in buff stacking, in my opinion, is really if you want to invest points in a character that's going to give you these buffs in stacks, then it increases the skill level and the skill curve in which to pull it off. Because if you don't pull it off, it's a complete waste of points, right? So actually, it then creates this sort of it increases that ceiling of skill. Otherwise, if it's just this unit does this unit does that, we may as well play chess. So I think when it comes to stacking, I mean, there's certain things which do get ridiculous, but I think GW now are getting a lot better with like the unmodified stuff. So like an unmodified 6 does this rather than a 6+. So I think there are certainly some that do get a bit silly, but yeah. JP Wargaming, what's your favorite Faith and Fury Marine upgrade? I assume you're talking about the. I don't like the named character. From a thematic point of view, I don't really enjoy the 1 CP. You can take a super chaplain or something, because I think it makes the actual super chaplains a little bit redundant, which I don't like. I like having like Cassius in the list or whoever, or Ashtaroth, these really cool thematic characters that we've been brought up to use in the lore, and really enjoy those characters. And I think they should get something extra for being a named chaplain rather than just 1 CP to get that ability. So yeah, there are some really good things in there. So we've just amended the Ultramarines one to have the apothecary in. So now that you can get there's some different combinations, but you can basically get a 5-up invulnerable save, you can get a 6-up feel no pain, or you can double heal units, which means you can either basically bring back an aggressor, bring him back to full health, or you can heal up and you could bring back an aggressor from one unit and then aggressor from another unit. You could do that also. So that's really, really strong. So yeah, there's certainly some good combos there. Obviously, taking double litanies is great depending on the list. Chief Librarian, good. They're all pretty decent, to be honest. There's no real bad one, but I really do like the Apothecary. I think he's probably the most useful. Yeah. Hi, Stephen. I'm really interested in Emperor's Children, Noise Marines. I'm thinking about running 15 or more to benefit from their stratagem. Do you have any input on Noise Marines? I think they're great, and we're going to touch on that in a minute. Yeah. When are you going to join the greater good? Well, that's going to be a while, because I realized I got so many armies to build in paint. I'd be a bit of a fool to try and do another one. Yeah. I'm actually going to turn all my Iron Hands into Ultramarines, I've decided. So that's a project I need to do. So I've got a really nice Ultramarines variety, as I'm definitely getting my love back for the Ultramarines the more I chat about them. So I want to get those looking pretty sharp. So that's, converting all the Iron Hands into Ultras. Then I want to finish up the Sisters, tidy up the Blood Angels. I got my Gene Steel Occult army. Started working on a guide today. I'll show you him in a second. Oh, actually, I'll go get him now. I've been working on a Primus. So just working on one guy at the moment, I just started to block in some colors. So somebody told me a little technique here to get that. So I need to do the head a bit more, but gone for like a grey on the armor, black cloth, and then on the under, sort of around his legs and stuff, and then a bit of a sort of dark blue. That's better look. So yeah, did some like blue highlights and things just to get him looking all right. So I'm happy with the grey. The cloak needs to be brighter, I think. I might go, I'm not sure, I need like a contrasting colour for the purple. But yeah, that's probably what we're looking at. It looks okay. I'll rebase him as well. So yeah, want to get the Gene Stealer cult done, and then also the orcs as well. So I got, and then my Eldar and Harlequins in Deathwatch will be out soon. So I think it's gonna be a while until I sort of reach out and play any Tau. I'll leave that to Jack for a while. I did get excited about them though. Okay, so Brian said he vetoes the Monday rename. Nah, not having it. Jacob said, chaos of that big Heresy drop pod that can fit 20 inside and it gains the first turn drop pod rule, at least I'm pretty sure I've seen. Yeah, I just think that with that, there's other ways to get the maneuverability from them. I want to create my own Space Wolves chapter. Do I have to use the Space Wolves rules, as I've heard that I can choose from a list of GW written rules? Is that false information? So you can either run them as Space Wolves, okay, and you just paint them whatever color you want, but use them as Space Wolf rules. Because if you want to use Wolfen and all the units that are like Space Wolf only, like Wolfen and Thunderwolf Cavalry, then yeah, you have to run them as Space Wolf rules. So the +1 to hit, the 6-inch consolidation. All right. Now, if you want to go a successor chapter, you would have to draw from, and you want to like pick your traits, you have to draw from the Space Marine Codex, and therefore it's actually not, you could call it like the Thunder Wolves or whatever you wanted. Like you could call them whatever you want. You could paint wolf iconography, but you wouldn't be able to use Wolfen, Thunderwolf Cavalry, any of the named characters or anything like that. Okay, you'd have to use, yeah, just the basic stuff out of the Space Marine book. But then you can go for, you can pick the traits you want to use. Whereas if you go Space Wolves, you know, you could convert up some really cool characters and just say, look, this is Ragnar, or this is this dude, whatever, Logan, Grimnar, this is him. But you could do some cool conversions and stuff. And you just say, look, my entire army is Space Wolves. I've got some cool converted characters. Here's their rules. This is basically, this guy counts as that guy. No one have a problem with that, I don't think, as long as it's clear. Raven Guard are still the daddy. You're wrong, Brian. You're just wrong. Any tactics for troops to avoid non-line of sight artillery? Yeah, the only sort of tactics really is to take advantage of getting a cover save, and also having things in your list that can get rid of those quickly. So on the tasks that I do every week for list of the week, one of those things is identifying the MVP of their list. And then once you've identified their MVP, you need to come up with a strategy on how you're going to get rid of it. So that's really crucial. And if you constantly keep seeing these crop up in your meta, then you need to have an answer to them. And again, that's why we teach people on the mentorship about the strategy that you need to put in place. Otherwise, you're just going to get tabled every game, which is not fun. How would you put Noise Marines and a Lord in there to have crazy Alpha Strike? Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need an Alpha Strike, though, often. Sometimes, you know, really setting things up for turns 2 or 3 are definitely going to be the way forward. Brian said either at a range. Yeah, that's a good one as well. The only thing is with a lot of the non-line of sight stuff, most of it from the Imperial Guard or Marines is like 48 or more, so it's really hard to stay outside a range of that. But, you know, staying at a range of some of the AdMech stuff, which is 36, is a little bit easier. Right, okay. Big Dog Jones. Oh, we've got loads in here. Loads of oh wow. Sorry, I've just missed about 1 million comments and we haven't even got to the book yet. Sorry guys. Chat's gone mad. Right, here we go. Matt has said, hey, Stephen, I've been going back and forth in joining the mentorship. I'm a veteran player who goes to Nova Open every year and looking to go to LVO, SoCat, and Adepticon. How personalized is the program? So how it works, mate, is that now, as I said, the mentorship isn't for everyone. It's not for complete beginners. It is just for those people that really want to get better at the game, no matter what level they're at. The mentorship program is designed so that wherever you are at, it will help you critically analyze what stage of your game you're in, or game you're at, should I say, and then ultimately then help you think critically about evolving you to that next level. Okay, so I teach a lot about game theory and, you know, essentially really ironing out absolutely everything in terms of the phases of the game, the factions, and it's generally going to just bring up your knowledge of the game to that next level. So you're going to know what the other armies could possibly catch you out by, how armies operate on the table. So then here's the game strategy you need to start to put in place. But then in terms of the personalization aspects, when you partake in the daily lessons, which are in the community group, and then also that's when you're going to get feedback from other Vanguard tacticians, which are either coaches or myself. Or some of the guys that have graduated from the program will go through and give you some feedback on how you did in those lessons and maybe give you some things to think about going forward. All right. And then finally, we do a quiz the coach every week where I sit down with your list and I go over that as well. The other thing I'm doing at the moment as a little special is if somebody wants to pay for the year up front and says, right, I'm in, you not only save a good amount of money there, but also I'll be offering a one-to-one phone call with you for 30 minutes to make sure we can go over your list, refine it, and I can really find out exactly, where you're at in your game, so you can start the mentorship program with a good, like clear direction and things you need to work on. And you also get access to the entire course straight away. So rather than having to basically get a module every 4 weeks, which normally happens, which in a module is like 4 to 8 lessons long, and the daily stuff's different, that's in the community, but this then you get full access. So as of right away, you can get open access to all the course material, and as soon as new materials launched, you get access to that as well. So if you are interested in that, shoot me an email and I'll put my email address in here and we can get that one-to-one call booked in as well at the same time. So it's Stephen at Vanguard Tactics. But yeah, it's a good saving as well on top of that. But obviously, Matt, it's totally your decision, buddy. Totally your decision. If you do check it out for 2 weeks and you don't like it, then obviously you can cancel. Yeah, I don't want anyone part of the program that doesn't feel like it's right to them. That's completely cool with me as well. I just want to make sure everyone gets really good value out of it. There's also no contracts either. So if you do like the monthly option, you want to quit, that's completely cool. As I said, I don't want anyone to have like a bad feeling or they didn't get out of the mentorship what they wanted. Jack said, Stevie, great work, mate. Can you Gulliman be competitive? Want to use him, but keep having to go back to your boy Calgar. I mean, Gulliman certainly can. You can also see him crop up in other lists because he's got that nice little ability that buffs up other Imperium units. However, I think point for point, Calgar just does a slightly better job. And because of the detachments and things, it means that you don't have to take other HQs. It's a shame that, and I wish they changed this for him and the other Primarchs, that if you take one of the captain and a lieutenant, when he does that for you already, or you've got to take like a chaplain and someone else, it just means getting that double battalion is a little bit harder. So you're having to take a lot of HQ tax if you take him, which is a bit of a shame. So I'd like GW to make that change. In fact, I'm going to suggest that. I'm going to write that down. I'll make a little note of things to talk to hopefully GW about, and that will be one of them. So Primarchs do count as HQs. But yeah, they fill out that Lord of War and a HQ. I think that'd be nice. Lucas said, do you think one Relic Contemptor Twin Las Cyclone is enough anti-tank along with deep striking unit for Deathwatch? No, mate, you definitely need more than that. He's just not going to do enough. Think about this is how you need to work it out. And again, we teach you, what exactly it takes. I think on one of the lessons I break down how many las cannon shots you need in order to kill a knight. So this is one of the simplified lessons, but basically, to kill a single knight, they've got 24 wounds, okay? The average damage on a d6 dice is 3.5. So let's say over 24 divided by 3.5 is 7, 14, 21, 21, 21, 21. And then that would be another 3.5. So now you're looking at like 7 to 8 need to go through. About seven wounds need to go through. Now, if they have a 4+ invulnerable save, then that means half of them are going to save. So therefore, you need to make 14 wounds in order to get 7 through. And then if you're wounding on, let's say the las cannons, you're wounding on 3s, 33% of your shots are going to miss. So that means that if you had 14, that's something like 14 shots. I think that's like 21 shots, something like that. My math isn't amazing, but 21 shots. A third of that is, 7. That means 14. So 21 dice need to hit with. And then let's say you had some sort of re-rolls on hitting in, no, maybe you need like 25 shots with re-rolls to hit. That would get you 21 wounds. And then your 14 saves in all that stuff. So you need a lot of las cannons to take down one night. JP Wargaming, I think there is a named character that any chapter that has the title should be automatically gain the Faith and Fury upgrades. Yeah, I think so. I think that's not a bad idea. That's quite cool. What kind of Gene Stealer Cult list are you planning on to running? So I'm going to do that in a couple of weeks. I'll talk about Gene Stealer Cult. I need to refresh my mind in terms of the codex. I also need to have a little look in what's come out in the greater good as well for them. So I'm going to need a little bit of time to look over that. But I've acolytes, I've got hybrids, I've got the biker boys, so loads of good stuff. I haven't even got through this book yet. Well, I might have to do this tomorrow. I have to do the book tomorrow, I think. Stephen, the armor of rust. This model is a 4+ invulnerable save. In addition, at the start of the fight phase, choose a number within 1 inch. Yep. That unit cannot be chosen to fight in the fight phase until all other units have. If the target has the ability that allows it to fight first in the fight phase, instead it fights if it didn't have that ability. So basically, how it works is the armor of rust chooses a unit and it says, nope, you're fighting as if you didn't have that. Okay. So it would then probably, it just says, it kind of cancels out the fight first. That's what it cancels out. If the target unit has the ability that allows it to fight first in the fight phase, it instead fights as if it doesn't have that ability. Yeah. So if it has, I think what happens is you could charge in armor of rust, charging units, no, but like Yanari that have the ability to fight first and charge would still, you might be able to pick them before the Space Wolf player potentially, but your whole army's not going to fight first. So then it comes down to selecting what units. I'd need to look into it a little bit more, but that's pretty much, If both players have units that cannot fight at all until obviously, then you alternate, Evan said, starting 40k, got a quick Blood Angel army question to the Dark Imperium. Start a Marine. More specific with your question at the moment, mate. Take big units of Sanguinary Guard. So, I run units of 8. Ancient as well on your list with the Standard of Sacrifice. But I wouldn't bother with the Redemptor. And I would convert your Intercessors to be Incursors as well. That's the other conversion I would make. Brian Anderson, I'm the most tournament savvy person in my gaming group. I usually place mid-pack at Nova, looking to get the bigger tournaments and getting a bit nervous. I want to play pure Craft Worlds. Honestly, Matt, we've got so many guys that are literally in your spot at the moment. Last year for LVO, I took 7 guys, prepped them every single week. That was on a slightly different package, but the basis is still from the mentorship program. We just evolved that slightly to get those guys going, 4-2, 5, done exceedingly well in the course since he started last year with some really big wins at some big majors, and also some good results, inconsistent results as well. It's not just like he got lucky. It's consistently, he's hitting that 4-2 sort of status. Yeah, and now it's a case of we're getting Brian to get to that 5-1. So yeah. Big Dog Jones, hey Stephen, day 11 for me, being up here at 3 a.m. to listen live. Right. What other questions have we got? Thank you very much, Joaquin, for your recommendation, buddy. Can't believe how many comments are going in the chat today. It's crazy. If you use Gulliman only as a beat stick in a combined Space Marine army. Yeah, I mean, again, like I think you want to have him in a pure Ultramarines list if you want to get the most out of him, if I'm honest. Or using, like Brian suggested, as a 4th knight, because you can give the other knights some pretty good benefits. Sir, please, for me, Watchmaster, what you need, one of them, and then a watch captain. The watch captain, give him a jump pack, and I give him a relic blade just to keep it nice and cheap, and then a storm bolter as well. And he takes the relics of the beacon of Angelus, so he can redeploy units to him. And then maybe if you needed another one, potentially a chaplain, and we'll see what they get with the new Psychic Awakening. I think probably putting a chaplain in is a good idea, and also a librarian, but we'll see. So they're your 4 HQs that you need. Okay. And as Brian said there, probably chaplain with a jump pack, and same with the librarian. I really like characters with jump packs. Having that fly keyword in the deep strike ability is fantastic. Thomas, how do you size up if you want to go first or second? I play Blood Angel and struggle against most Eldar army times because I'm unsure to go first or second. To be honest, you either have 2 strategies here. And again, I'm going to be running a Blood Angel webinar on how to run Blood Angels. That's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. So make sure you listen out for that when that goes live. And I'll be going over exactly what to do first or second against all the different matchups. And I'll be telling you everything I've learned. So I'll save it that because it's quite an involved one. Felix said, have you played the 3 Lord of Skulls list yet? No, I haven't played it. I haven't played against it either. So that's kind of an unknown. John, hey, I'm pretty new, but what would be better for Space Wolves, Incursors, Intercessors, or Infiltrators at close combat stuff? Incursors, definitely. They are a good, cheap, effective unit for what they do, in my opinion. They're durable. They're the best troop option. Yeah, Space Wolves want to be up close and personal. So a lot of people, I see people running Infiltrators with Blood Angels and Space Wolves in White Scars, and I don't understand why, because they are combat-based armies, and you want your opponent close. You don't want to say, "Oh, stay 12 away." You want them like get close and personal with them. Okay, so the Incursors can definitely do that. Brian, thanks so much, by the way, for helping me out with the comments in the chat. This is helping out a lot. Cool. Right, guys, I'm going to leave that there today. So tomorrow, straight away, we're going to dive into this book, Faith and Fury. It's going to be tomorrow. So please keep all questions related to Faith and Fury. If you haven't got this book, maybe get it, give it a read. Tomorrow, we're going to be diving through all of the chaos elements, okay? So we've been speaking loads about Imperium, but I feel like we need to give some chaos some love. So we're going to be talking all things chaos, Faith and Fury tomorrow, and then I've got a chaos night I want to build up, okay? So what I might do is maybe the day after that, we talk about chaos nights. Who knows? We'll see where this conversation goes and leads us, but yeah. Right, guys, cool. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'd love to see some of you, like I said, in the mentorship group. If you want to jump on and get that that full VIP package on the mentorship program, pay for that year up in front, save yourself some money, get that one-to-one call with me, then yeah, we can definitely look to schedule that in. All you need to do is shoot me an email and I'll send you the link for that, because it's a bit different to the regular one that's in the description. However, if you just want to check out that and see what it's all about for a couple of weeks and see if you like it, then yeah, check that out. But guys, it's been a pleasure as usual, and I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And please remember to tell your friends, tell your community that I go live every day at 6 o'clock. You know, I mean, I don't have the hugest or the biggest YouTube following, so my My reach to get to everyone is quite limited, so I really need your help just kind of spreading the word. What I do is, I'm sure there's loads of people in your gaming group, your community, that could probably, you know, maybe ask me some questions and help them with their game. So actually, the more, this is the thing, you know, in your playing group, what you want to be able to do is bring up the people with you, so then they challenge you, and it will constantly raise your standard of the game as well. And that's really, really important. All right. So I'll finish off with this last question. Can you give a good word on GW to make all 30k heresy rules range playable on 40k? I would love that. I think that would be great. I agree. Anyway, guys, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for another live at 6 o'clock. Take care.